Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and today I'm going to be talking about something very nerve-wracking, and it makes me super nervous to talk about this, but I feel like it's important, so that's why I'm doing it. So as you can see by my shirt, love wins, yay, gay pride. It's June, which is gay pride month, or LGBTQIA plus. I thought it would be fitting for me to talk about my experience dating girls, being gay, and where my sexuality is at right now. I don't want any hate on this video. If you're homophobic or whatever, you don't need to watch this. But for those who are curious and don't want to be judgmental, enjoy this video where I talk about my journey with LGBTQ and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Oh, also I'm going to be doing a rainbow makeup look while I talk to you guys, so it's not just me being all nervous and yeah, whatever. So let's go. Also, my hair's in a middle part today. I've never done a middle part ever in my life, but I think it looks pretty good. I straightened it and made it all nice. Sorry if there's a few wispies. My hair obviously doesn't go this way. But yeah, I thought it looked ugly with middle parts, but now I think it looks okay. And maybe it'll look better with makeup. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to start with the eyes because it's going to be very colorful. So that's why I zoomed you in. Let's get into the story. I don't know if it's a story or whatever. My LGBT experience, it began when I was in, I want to say 7th grade. During 7th grade, I just I became really depressed, and I don't know if I was depressed or if I just saw it on the internet and was like, oh, it's kind of cool to be depressed and you can get attention, so that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know if that's what it was, but I was just a moody little teenager. So I was just confused about a lot of things. I was 13. I went on Tumblr, and that was the first time I'd ever seen lesbian couples. To God that I did not fart. I have no idea what that sound is. I've listened to it probably 50 times now. I don't know, it just attracted me. It was really cool, and I was oh, I've always had a deeper connection with girls, especially friends. I had always just loved my girlfriends, and I didn't know if it was oh, I love you, you're my friend, or I love you, I want to kiss you and be your girlfriend. I was just kind of confused, and honestly, I think what pushed me to experiment or be with girls was that guys were not very nice to me, and I just felt undesired by them. And so I was okay, I'm gonna take a break from guys and just try girls. And honestly, my first experience with girls was on New Year's. I think I was in 7th grade, and I was hanging out with 2 of my girlfriends, and we started to play spin the bottle. And I had only kissed one guy one time before this, so I was super nervous. I had never made out with anybody. It was super scary, but we were just messing around, and we played spin the bottle, and we all ended up making out with each other for a long time, not just playing spin the bottle. We would take turns making out with each other. I just had a lot of fun, and I was okay, this is pretty cool. You can kiss girls too. Of course, the next day they were both super freaked out and were oh, I'm not gay, I don't remember why I did that. They were just super embarrassed, I think. And so I was not, and I was oh, that was fun though for me. I was super confused, and I was actually kind of hurt that they were oh, I don't like you like that, we're just friends, I don't want to do that again. So it was really hurtful to me, just hearing that from my really close friends, because then I had developed feelings for one of the girls. I was just confused, so it kind of sucked. But the one girl that I had kind of developed feelings for, she was my best friend, and we continued to kiss. Every time we would hang out, we would just kiss. It was just something fun we did. It was really strange looking back, but I enjoyed it, and I thought she enjoyed it. The thing was though, she was really religious. She was raised Christian, went to church. I had gone to church with her, so it was just kind of she was confused, I think, and she didn't want to go against what she had learned in church. I had developed strong feelings for this girl because she was my best friend. We did everything together. we were always like kissing, and it was so confusing to me because she didn't want to like take it any further, and I was like, okay, I get it, like you're embarrassed, like you don't know if you actually like girls. But looking back, it was just kind of unfair for her to keep kissing me if she didn't even like me. After that had like subsided, I had met this other girl, and neither of us had ever dated a girl, but we just started talking. This is kind of confusing. I like talked about this girl earlier, and then I decided, okay, I'm just gonna go in like chronological order, so sorry that I'm like doing earlier makeup steps, but I just didn't want it to be confusing. It would have been a lot harder if I hadn't met this one specific girl. We weren't actually really friends before, but like her biological mom had married a guy, and then they had gotten divorced, and she had started dating a woman. I don't know if they're married now, they might be. We started talking, and I very quickly like caught feelings for her, and she caught feelings for me. And so we were like, okay, let's date, like bet, let's just do the damn thing. So we started dating, and we were pretty open about it. Like in middle school, we were like, yeah, we're girlfriends. Like we held hands and we took pictures together, and I think like everybody in our grade knew. My boyfriend now, it's actually funny because he went to a different middle school, and he was like, oh yeah, like we knew you were gay, like you were the gay girl, you were the girl who like liked girls. And I just think that's so funny because I never like came out on social media or anything, so I don't know how they knew. Like nobody was really mean about it, at least to my face. So I never really got any backlash in middle school, which I think is super awesome because we were like so young and kids were still being respectful and like nice about it. So that was in like 2013, I think. But yeah, so I dated this girl for a long time. Maybe like 6 months. Like that was a long time for middle school. And like we would kiss, we would hang out, we like took pictures together, and we just had a lot of fun. And I loved her, like really loved her. And she loved me, and it was just like super fun, and I didn't feel any judgment at all. But then it came time where I like wanted to hang out with her more, I wanted her to meet my family, so I had to tell my parents. And it wasn't like I sat them down and was like, hey guys, like I'm gay. It was like my mom was tucking me in one night, or she was like saying goodnight to me, and I was like, hey mom, like I know this is gonna sound kind of weird, but I think I like girls. And she was like, okay Emma, like that's cool, like you can like whoever you want, we're still gonna love you. And I think she was just kind of thinking like, oh, this is just gonna be a phase, like just let her get it out. But like I know my family supported me still, and so like my siblings knew, my parents knew. We weren't really like telling other family because they're all really religious, and I just knew that that wouldn't go over well. That's why making this video is kind of scary because I don't know if they'll see it. But yeah, so I was dating this girl for like 6 months, and I don't know what happened, but I just like I got kind of scared and was like, okay, I'm going into high school soon. I don't want to be like the gay girl anymore. I didn't want to be known as that. Not because anybody had like mistreated me or anything. I wanted a fresh start, and I found a guy that I liked. So I stopped dating this girl, and it was super sad because she was super nice and like such a great girlfriend to me. Yeah, we just had like a great time together, and it was awesome for me to kind of experience that at such a young age. I started dating a guy. That didn't go well, and he was just rude and mean to me, and I just like got really confused. And I was going into high school, and it was funny because nobody ever said anything to me while I was dating this girl, but my close friends, like my best friend who I had been kissing before, she was like, oh, I'm so glad you're not dating that girl anymore, like we needed to fix you. And that kind of just always stuck with me because it was like, okay, well, you supported me while I was dating her, but then once I wasn't dating her, you tell me that you're glad that I'm like back to being this straight girl. And that just really confused me. And for a long time I was like, okay, it's probably better to be straight, it's better to like fit in. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that I don't think I am fully straight, because I just have an attraction to girls naturally. And I don't think like being homosexual or being gay is something that you can pick. Like I feel like part of me does like girls. And I guess This is really hard because I wasn't planning on saying all this, but obviously I have a boyfriend now who I love very much. So it's not like I'm like actively seeking a girlfriend or anything, but I do find myself like fantasizing about girls, not like my friends or anything. It's just like I think girls are attractive and I don't mind kissing them. Like, I don't. So it's really hard right now because I don't want to, like, I don't have a label for myself. Like, I guess if I had to, I would be queer. I'm in a relationship, like a long-term relationship, so I don't really see myself like pursuing girls anytime soon, or if ever. So it's kind of hard right now, but I just feel like it's 2019, like we're all growing more accepting, and we're realizing that it's not really a choice to be gay. And I don't think that is for me. Like, I don't think I do have a choice of liking girls or not liking girls. Like, I can suppress it, and I did for my first few years of high school, but that's the truth. Yeah, so some other things that I wanted to share with you guys while I was in high school, like, people weren't mean to me when I was dating this girl. It's actually funny, people were more homophobic and mean after. During my sophomore year, I had this big blowout with a girl, and it was like all over Twitter. I had said something mean online, and she had like posted it, and all these people started coming after me, and they were just saying like mean things, whatever. But then this one kid, he's like, oh, I've never talked to her, I don't really know either of them, but didn't she used to date girls? Like, saying it like it was a bad thing. And in that moment I realized, wow, like, these kids are really homophobic, like, or at least this kid was. And I was just like, wow, he's trying to use my history of dating girls against me as a bad thing when I was kind of like proud of it. Yeah, I did date girls, like, I had fun, who cares? That really hurt me, and to see like my other friends like this kid, it was hurtful. And I don't know if he just wanted to like get in on the drama or if he's actually homophobic, but I was shocked. I was shocked that he said that after getting so much support like years earlier, like from middle schoolers. And now we're in high school and this kid was saying, oh, like, you dated girls, like, obviously there's something wrong with you. So that was like one of the tougher times. And then obviously just like my friends telling me like, oh, I'm so glad you're not gay anymore, I'm so glad you like boys. That was really hurtful. So luckily I haven't dealt with that bad of like homophobia or people mistreating me for my sexual preference, but I have basically been straight for 4 or 5 years now, so of course I'm not gonna have to deal with that. Recently I feel like I need to be more open with myself, and it's okay to feel this way, and I want you guys to know that it's okay. And I want you to know that it's okay to not put labels on everything, because personally I don't really know how I feel. I don't really know what I'm labeled as. And not that it really matters that I'm like telling you guys all this because I am in like a relationship, but I think it's important to just be honest about who you are. And I hate that LGBT people have to kind of like come out as what they are, because then it's just like that's all you see them as. And people are so much more than their sexual preference. Like, for straight people it doesn't really matter, it's just like, okay, whatever. But for gay people it's like this big thing that can tear apart their family or ruin their life, or it just opens them up to all kinds of harassment and violence, and it's just kind of sickening. And now more than ever, with people like demanding straight pride and all that kind of stuff, it's just like we need to realize that LGBT people need our help and they need allies, and it's not about making us feel good, it's about making them feel included. It's hard because I don't really know a lot about the community just because I haven't really been involved in it, because I have been straight for a while, but I just think it's interesting, and I really want to kind of evolve who I am and just open up in the next few years. I'm sorry that this is like all over the place. I just don't really know what to say and what I shouldn't say, but I just am so grateful that I've had like a really great experience being queer. But I just want people to know that it's not really a choice, it's just you can't help how you feel. Just like if you're straight, you can't help feeling an attraction to the opposite gender. And there is science to back up LGBTQ people. We are wired differently. So it's not fair to say, oh, this is your choice, like you can be fixed. Like, it just makes me sick, some of the things that LGBT people have to go through. Just know that I am an ally. I like to be more involved in the community, and anything I can do to help, I'm here. If you need someone to talk to, if you're like confused or questioning, or you don't really know what to do, if you're having feelings that you just aren't used to, like, I'm here to talk and I'm here to support you because I know how hard it is. I don't really know what else to say, but just comment down below if you want me to talk about it more, talk more about like my relationship with this girl. I actually reached out to her to ask if it was okay if I talked about our relationship a little bit, and she was so nice about it. She's seriously one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I'm so grateful that I got to experience like my first like gay relationship with her, because she's so sweet and so nice. I didn't like how I said that. It wasn't like it was just a good relationship, not because we were like, she was my first girlfriend or anything. Like, she was just a good partner. I feel like it's like discrediting her if I say she was just my first good like gay relationship. She was like one of the best partners I've ever had, and we were like 13, so props to her. Props to you if you're watching. I've just been really lucky throughout this like journey that I've been on, and it's kind of exciting to open back up and be honest with myself about how I'm feeling, even if it's not the most accepted viewpoint, for sure. And I'm really nervous to upload this because where I go to school is a very conservative area. Orange County, there's a lot of Republican viewpoints, and I'm scared about like being bullied, but this is important, and other people have it a lot worse than me. This is for them. And I'm gonna finish this makeup look because it's looking a little rough, and I will come back. Alright, so I'm almost done with my eyes. I just was like thinking of more things to talk about with you guys, and it's actually funny because like I said earlier, I used to have this like really good friend, and we like played spin the bottle, and then we like would kiss every time we hung out. It's actually funny because I would go to church with her, and one time we went to church camp. At the end of it, I was like, oh, like I think I want to become Christian, like I want to open my heart to Jesus. Like, yeah, I actually said that. Nothing against religious people, like I have so many Mormon religious friends, like love ya. But right after I said that, this girl was asking a question, and she was like, I'm just kind of curious, like what do you guys think about gay people? And this was the time where I had just broken up with my girlfriend, and I was like still confused about my sexuality. And my friend knew, like a lot of people there knew that I had dated girls because they were like from our area around our school. I was like really nervous to hear what she would say, and she was like, oh, well, our church personally doesn't support gay people. We think it's wrong because it says it in the Bible or something. Obviously I haven't read the Bible. She said, we don't support it. If you are gay, we just recommend that you don't act on your feelings, and like you basically like repent to God. I think she said like you apologize for your sins basically. And that like stuck with me. I was like, okay, so you're saying you don't support me being gay, but if I am gay, it's okay as long as I don't act gay or date other girls. Like, I was just so confused, and I was like, okay, so what's the point of this message? And of course I didn't grow up going to church, so I was just really confused, and it made me realize how hard it is for gay kids growing up in religious families, because it's so confusing. It's like, okay, it's okay if you're gay, but not really, and you're not allowed to act gay or be gay. So I can't imagine growing up feeling that kind of pressure and just confusion. Like, okay, if this is who I am and it's okay, then why am I not allowed to act on it? Or being told that it's just flat out not okay and you need to change. Or like, God will love you once you're straight. And it's just like so manipulative to use somebody like God to change kids to fit your view of what's not sinful, what's holy, whatever. And it was then that I was like, okay, like maybe church isn't for me. And the same thing happened to my mom, actually. She was a missionary in high school. Sorry, let me keep doing makeup. Anyways, so my mom was a missionary in high school, and like went on a trip with her friends to like Florida or something. They were just like talking to people about God. They go to like this gas station, and my mom's like getting a snack or whatever, and she sees all her like missionary friends crowded around like this worker at the gas station. It turns out that they were talking to him and they were like, oh, it's okay, like Jesus will love you once you aren't gay anymore. My mom didn't say anything, but in that moment, she realized that what she was doing didn't support her beliefs. She didn't believe that Jesus only loves some people. She believed that Jesus loves everybody, regardless of who they are. And she was raised very conservatively. She was like a Republican going into college, and later on in life, she became a state representative. She was a Democrat. She walked in every gay pride parade during her office term. We had shirts that had like Bischoff and rainbow. She's just like a huge ally to the LGBT community. So I just think it's interesting how she kind of had a similar experience to me, and it changed her whole life basically. Even being raised in a conservative family, knew that it wasn't okay to treat people differently based on their sexual orientation. Now, when I told her I liked girls, I think she struggled with it a little bit because it kind of like freaked her out. Like, oh, my daughter is gay now. Like, it's different to support a community and a few of your friends that are gay, but it's different when it's your kid. It must have been hard because she was a public figure, and in a red state like Ohio, it's hard to say, yeah, my daughter's gay. And she never really had to do that because I was just kind of like in and out of dating girls, and I wasn't like super into it. But I can see where she kind of had like inner turmoil, kind of struggling with what to do. But ultimately she supported me, still supports me, and I'm sure if I were to date a girl, she'd be fine. It's just like interesting the way people react, and I was never really ashamed of it. I was never really like, oh, I can't hold hands with my girlfriend in public. Like, I would do all this stuff in public and nobody ever said anything to me, so I just figured it was okay, and it is okay. But others are not that lucky. I think everybody should be able to love who they love. It's really interesting because when I was in high school, I did this play, Shrek, or like one of the girls on the cast was bi, and I had never like talked to anybody who was bi before, and we were just having like this group conversation basically about her sexuality because like the hairdresser for the show was gay. It was a gay man, and he was like, well, I just don't really understand bisexuality. He was like, oh, do you at night when you go to bed, do you roll over and kiss your husband and then roll over to the other side and kiss your wife? He was just kind of being funny about it. But she said, you know, for me, love is falling in love with a person, and it doesn't matter if they're a boy or a girl. I fall in love with somebody's soul and how they make me feel about myself. And that kind of always just stuck with me. And I realized like I'm kind of the same way, because I don't really care if you're a boy or a girl. I can be attracted to you. I can have feelings for you and have love for you. I just thought that was really pretty and beautiful how she said that, and it made me feel a lot better. If you're confused about like bisexuality, I think that's a good way to think of it. It's just like you don't care about somebody's gender. You're gonna love who you love based on how they make you feel and who they are as a soul. And I'm sure I'm forgetting things that I wanted to talk about, but I'm like super nervous and I'm sweating. Like, I've never sweated this much making a video. Yeah, I'm gonna finish the face for real this time and then come back. Alright, you guys, so I finished the makeup look. I added some glitter, added my lashes, to my brows, to my face, to my lips, all that good stuff. But I didn't just want this to be like a makeup tutorial where I'm doing nothing, so I only showed you guys while I was talking about like my story and everything. So I hope this is okay. If you want a tutorial on this look, like just let me know and I'd totally be happy to film it for you or do like maybe an Instagram video on it or something like that. So I want to say thank you guys for watching this video and just kind of like listening to my little story, even if it's not like I'm gay, you know? Happy Pride Month to all my LGBTQIA plus community out there. And if you are not a part of the community, then you can always be an ally and you can always support somebody in the community. And it's really important that we show LGBTQ people love this month, and it's not about straight people for once. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be nice. Do not do any hate on this video. I will be removing hateful comments, and you will get blocked. Yes, thank you for watching. I love you guys. Thank you to all my subscribers who support me, and if you aren't subscribed, you should subscribe because I have lots of content. If you have any questions or you want me to talk more about a topic, just comment down below and I would be happy to do that for you guys. I hope you're having a great Pride Month. I'll see you all next time. Bye!